Let's do this. So, I hope a lot of you seen the short I put out yesterday. Here it is. We're in, well, this is going out on the 2nd of February.
Yeah.
But we're in a whole other month now. And although the title may somewhat be slightly the same as our podcast we did on New Year's Day, this has nothing to do with that podcast. This is a whole different subject because I just want to know, how are those New Year's resolutions coming along for you? How many of them, or how many of you that made those little drunken promises? Because let's face it, that's what happens on New Year's. Everyone gets plastered. And then what happens is you say something stupid like, next year I'm going to let my hair grow shoulder length. And then what? You see Mabel down the road got a new hairstyle and, well, I like my hair that way. I want my hair that way. Well, what happened to your shoulder length hair? You make stupid things that we don't follow through on. Come on. I know a few of you have done it.
I will admit that I've made resolutions, but I've never made drunken ones. Not that I have never been drunk. I just never did it on New Year's.
But the thing is, that is sort of what does happen, though, is you're at a New Year's Eve party. There's drinking going on, and maybe you don't drink if you're there. Maybe you are having a soda, but you made one of them stupid little promises that you're not going to follow through on, and you know it. Oh, I'm going to go to the gym every day. Well, that every day suddenly turned into one day.
Well, do you think people make them knowing they're not going to do them, or do you think people make them with the intention to do them? Because I always made them as a way to say, I'm making it, so I'm going to do it and stick to it. It didn't work, but the intention would be there to do it.
Well, I'd like to hope.
Or do people make them because it's just tradition to make them?
I think it's tradition. People do that basically out of tradition.
Okay.
Because, like I was starting on with the gym, nobody follows through on that. You maybe went one day.
Yeah.
1 hour.
Maybe.
1 minute.
I was never foolish enough to say I was going to the gym.
Me either. I work.
I like cookies too
work
much.
jobs. And if I worked day shift, I'm too tired to go anywhere after work. If I worked afternoon shift, I had other stuff that I'd be doing at home to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And when you get off at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, who the hell wants to go exercise at that time of the night?
Right.
But that's the point, is people make these promises because it's tradition.
Yeah.
You have to have a New Year's resolution.
Yeah. See, I don't know that I don't know that we were never really brought up with that kind of thing. We did the rock or what we do here now, taking something out and bringing in something new. But
yeah, we have to bring a rock in and out of the house.
Well, it can be anything.
And what was that? There was another thing you wanted us to do something about.
Well, you open the front door.
You open the front door and you open the back door.
Yeah, and all the whatever goes in and out.
If any of you know of this, please. Please.
As far as I know, we are the only family that brought something in and took something out.
Your family.
Yes, I've never heard any other family do this. But we always did that. I think resolutions for me probably came in when I was a little older. But I get the notion to it, because you want to change a bad behavior into a good behavior. So this is like, okay, I'm going to do this. Is going to motivate me to do this.
Well, and that sort of goes on with one of the things I want to sort of touch on this
Okay.
is the whole thing of unreachable goals. We set these goals as traditions, but you know you're not going to follow through.
Right.
You know you're not.
Well, I think it depends. I think it depends. Now, for me, I don't want to get off track, but I would, when I was a heavy smoker, would give up cigarettes every year for Lent, and I was able to do the whole 6 weeks without smoking. And I worked in a casino at the time that was a bar casino, so that was very hard. There was a lot of temptation there, and I think now I never had intentions of quitting permanently at that time, but because I did it as a religious observance, I think that helped me to be able to withstand the temptation for 6 weeks.
See, that's when I did try, and believe me, I did. One time I did try to quit smoking, and I probably made it almost 6 months, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went out drinking with some friends.
Okay.
And of course, you're in that bar setting. Everybody, this is before it became outlawed to have a cigarette anywhere. Everybody in that bar was literally smoking.
Okay.
So you're around people that are drinking, you're drinking, they're smoking, that smoke is all coming at you, and I broke down. I spent and believe it or not, it was this much in a cigarette machine. $3.50 to get a pack of cigarettes.
It's been a while.
So that I could have a cigarette.
What are cigarettes now, like $10?
So, I mean, but that is it. I mean, even though it's tradition, a lot of these resolutions are unreachable goals.
Well, are they unreachable, or is the person making the goal really not ready to change the behavior? Because I think that's key. If you're not ready to do it in your mind, if you've not settled, I'm going to do this, then you're not going to.
No.
I've smoked. I was an alcoholic, and at times when I tried to say I'm quitting, it didn't stick because I wasn't ready at the time to do it. I wasn't ready to just be done with it. You can say it all you want.
Well,
and you say it for what reason? So when I was drinking, you wanted me to quit, and I'd say, oh, I'm quitting. This is it. I thought I meant it, but I was doing it for him and not for myself.
But you were also having someone inhibit that.
Well, that may be, but the same point is, unless you are willing to really dig in, you can make all the promises to yourself you want to.
With anything.
That's just like a person on drugs. They'll send them to rehab. Rehab's good, but if that person isn't really wanting to do it, you're just wasting money to pay to have them go there.
Well,
because they have to be willing in their mind to be done with it.
That's with anything. Anything. I mean, you have to be the one to make the decision that, and maybe that's when you should make that resolution, is maybe when that thought has hit your head that, you know what, it's costing me this much. I used to work with a nurse when I worked in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, and she literally quit smoking when she took how much she spent in cigarettes for a year and realized that was enough.
Well, that was
a payment on a new car.
Well, if that was her motivation. Now, for me, when I was a smoker, I would reason out, I need these cigarettes, and I'd quit when they were like 5 or 6 a pack. I need these cigarettes, but I want to quit. It's expensive, but I can just not eat lunch. I cannot I cannot do this. Whatever the case may be. So you self-inhibit when you want to do something.
Yeah. And you were pretty good when you smoked, though. You didn't smoke real heavy.
Well, I smoked heavy enough. And a pack a day is, was a lot. And I did a lot of damage to my health because, even though I've been, not smoking for a while, I still have breathlessness and stuff. I probably have COPD that's just not diagnosed. But I mean, I smoked for 38 years. So,
Well, let's switch off of cigarettes. Let's go for another one.
Okay.
How about these people that keep saying, and come on, girls, you all know you do it. I've just got to fit into my swimsuit this summer.
Yeah.
And then what? Someone brings that double fudge chocolate cake.
I'm right there with you, girls. I'm having the cheesecake.
And what's more important, fitting into that swimsuit or having that slice of cake, which it may not even be a big slice. Let's face it, you don't have to eat half the cake when you got it like some people do. But you could take a small sliver and you could still fit into that swimsuit. But they make them promises that they're going to start eating, more diet-friendly foods so that they get their waistline and everything back. And how many of them fail?
Well, again, I think it comes back to, are you ready to make that commitment? Are you really ready to do it? Because I think if you set your mind to it and you really, really want to, I think you will. Now, for me, I was a chubby kid. And when I wanted to lose weight, I started exercising. I used to jog 5 miles a day. And I was able to keep my weight off. My metabolism, I think, kicked in. And I might go, I want to lose a couple pounds, but I would rather have the cheesecake. I'm sorry. But I think, like, if I was really serious about losing weight now, I'm 57. I ain't out trying to impress anybody. I got a few years left. I want to be happy. But in reality, if I really wanted to lose weight, I think I would just set my mind to it and do it. I think it's whether you really want to or not.
So maybe another way to look at making these resolutions is let's maybe start coming to terms with the fact that we're human.
Yeah.
Okay, we're human. And humans are going to slip up from time to time.
Yeah.
I and you and I were talking about this last night. I've started making not so much a resolution, but a pact with myself that I want to start just making it the best year I can make it.
Right. Right.
I can't control what you do. I can't control what anybody else does, but I want to make the year the best I can make it. Could that maybe be a possible way for you to maybe look at your New Year's resolutions? Realizing I'm human, saying stuff. So let's use you as an example. So Dan, what's your New Year's resolution this year? And you maybe say something like, you know what? And we did say this as our New Year's resolution, both of us this year, is we wanted to start eating a little more healthier. But we're human.
Sure.
You're going to have that cheeseburger from time to time. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't have to live on that cheeseburger. We still do, and we cook chicken or fish, or we'll have pork. Maybe we'll squeeze a cheeseburger or a meatloaf. Because you got to have a potato somewhere in there. And you can't have meatloaf without potatoes.
You can't. It's a thing.
You can't have anything in this house without potatoes.
Trust me, it's a rule.
But we aren't breaking our resolution.
Right.
We are eating healthy.
Yeah.
We're just not restricting ourselves to just this food.
Well, you're right, because I think people try to go all or nothing. Then if they backslide a little bit, they beat themselves up. I
And then they
failed.
quit.
I'm no good. And I'm going to give you an example. So I've been working on me a lot this year. Those that follow us on our other channel may have heard some of our stuff on there. I had it rough somewhat growing up. I was kind of raised cultish. Church of God of Prophecy, just a total freak and control show. But I had a lot of me work to do. And I think as I was really starting to understand myself, I could see things that caused me to be triggered. So I had an event recently that triggered me. And instead of me ruminating and getting stuck into that OCD thing, I was able to, with a little bit more calmness, handle the situation, and I was able to let it go real easy. Mm-hmm. Now, the old me would have said, you failed, you did this, blah, 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 and gave up. But what I did is I focused on the fact that, hey, because I journal, yep, you had a little slip up, but you weren't nearly as bad as you used to, and you handled it with a lot of grace, and you let it go. Good job, you have improved. And I think when people slip up and maybe have that whole cheesecake when they're on a diet, you just go, whoops, and then start all over.
So, yeah, so it's...
But people got to show grace to themselves. I mean, we are taught in this nation to be so competitive and to be the best and to never make mistakes that when we do, it's all or nothing. I screwed up, so I might as well just not even bother. And that's a problem.
So that's just it, though. We just need to, and everybody that is even at that New Year's Eve party, when you make this resolution, remember, you're human. You're going to slip up.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But when you do, don't beat yourself up for it. Don't let anybody else beat you up for it either. Just because you made one mistake doesn't mean you can't wake up tomorrow and go, you know what? Today's a new day.
Yep. And you know what? You're going to make more than one mistake. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But every time you conquer it and every time you get back up on that horse, so to speak, and you just ride back off towards the sunset, you're setting yourself up for success because you're saying, you know what? I screwed up. It's okay. And just go on.
And that's why, like I said, my pact with myself that I make every year is I am going to make this the best year I can make it.
Yep.
I know I'm not going to wake up, and you can admit it. Come on. I'm not bright rainbows and sunshine every day.
No. I can't believe it.
But tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
Maybe something didn't go good for me. Maybe it didn't go good for you that day. You've had them days even at work.
Oh, yeah.
Where you've had a bad day.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
But tomorrow is a different day.
Yep.
And there's always going to be a tomorrow.
Yep.
God willing.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I think we tend to live in the future or past, so we forget that if you really think about this, is deep. We never do not know what it's like to not be in the now, because every moment is now. Future's in way over here, and the past is done.
If you start floating off that chair,
but oops, I'm sorry. But that is the truth. I mean, we only know the now. So, you know, now I slipped up, but I'm going to be better in the next now. That's just simply how you have to view it. And just, you know, allow yourself time for those things.
You gotta accept you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
We are human. You're gonna make mistakes.
Yep.
I mean, and anybody out there that looks at you if you do make that mistake and tries to tell you otherwise, trust me, I'm sure somewhere in their closets there's a skeleton hiding somewhere that they just don't want to admit to.
Everybody's
but
got
they'll
them.
point yours out.
Sure. I think too, looking at my notes here, we commercialize perfection.
Yeah.
And it's always the perfect body. I mean, you look at everything from magazines to movie stars. You don't see everyday people out there. I mean, look at what we set our mind on, what we want to be, is this perfect voluptuous figure with the perfect hair and the perfect makeup and the perfect eyes. And then look around where you work. Look around at your neighbors. That's reality. Everything else is plastic. If you have the money that these movie stars had, let's look at some. Look at some of them when we were young. I ain't gonna name names, but some of them have more plastic than Barbie. Right?
Can we be honest? Though, like you're saying about these magazines and everything. You and I had that conversation again this morning too. How many times have I either from a commercial that some cologne or perfume company is putting out or whatever, and they're showing these people that they're calling runway models out to walk some high fashion dress or whatever down the runway. And some of these people, they have like their heads. Ladies have their heads shaved bald while they're doing this.
Yeah.
And all I can think is, whatever happened to the days when models actually took pride in their looks and beauty? Cheryl Tiegs.
Well, because outrageous is attention drawing. Yeah, and we live in a society that...
Christy Brinkley.
Yeah. We live in a society that likes the outrageous. It's everywhere. Look,
okay,
from
I like
religion,
the outrageous too. I like Lady
politics,
Gaga.
but that kind of stuff's way out there. In reality, I know I don't know if it's a gay thing. I didn't even know who she was until I got with you, really. I only ever heard one song, but she's got so much talent. Did she really need all that stuff? Really? But that's what sells, I guess. So, and I love her now. I love her politics.
She's a beautiful woman.
She is a beautiful woman.
I'm talking these models that feel like they don't have to put makeup on, that have their hair shaved off. You're a lady. Look like a God-blessed lady.
But that's outrageous is what gets attention. Really stop and think about our society. Normal and just having a conversation doesn't even do it anymore. People have to... Everything's a Jerry Springer episode. Everything. From politics to religion to work. I want to be a hermit sometimes because everything is just so in your face, and it's ridiculous.
But
we're getting off track. But I could do a whole thing on that nonsense.
This is normal in our household. Okay, we start on one subject and for some reason end up on 20 different ones.
But I think too, along with it, we just over commercialize everything. So perfection is way out there, and we it's almost like wanting what the Joneses have because you don't have it. You just see it pushed in your face, and you just want to be that way. So that's why people do the diets and stuff, because you're targeted. What do they start pushing on commercials and stuff around the holidays? Right after Christmas, it's gym memberships. You see ads for those. You see ads for diet, whatever, Jenny Craig, all this crap. It's kind of subtly in there. So your mind wanders into that. Okay. Gyms specifically target you because they know you're going to make a resolution. And in reality, they just want you to buy that membership. They don't care if you come.
Yeah.
They got their money. So a lot of it is we just fall prey to advertising. That's why some of our resolutions are always the way they are, because that's what you're targeted with. See, it's a good thing I like cake because it doesn't bother me. I don't get suckered into that.
No, I'm not making a cake.
Mm. But two, I think we just don't accept ourselves as the way we are. We are traditionally taught through culture, through education, through commercialization, that there's something inherently flawed in us and we need to be like this to be acceptable.
How about starting like a new tradition on New Year's?
The anti-resolution.
Well, not so much.
Think of all the bad habits you can keep.
But sort of like a reflection of the year before and what you went through there and what you might try to do the next year.
Yeah.
Try being the key word. Okay.
Right.
Don't make, is that maybe another reason resolutions aren't followed through? Because a lot of people say, I'm going to.
That could be.
Instead of, I'm going to try to.
It could be. Could be. But the whole resolution thing's built upon a fact that we're eating sauerkraut because a pork's supposed to bring you money and cabbage is money. And I mean, the whole thing is just built on a hokey good luck thing to begin with. You know, I just don't know why we just can't be happy that we're alive. That should be enough.
Yeah. Gratitude really does go a long way. And that goes sort of back on what you were saying with the commercialism thing. That got me thinking. See how he throws me sometimes off track too. But yeah, because we see these people in television shows, movies, stuff like that, and the couple is a stay-at-home wife and a husband who probably works, I'm just going to use McDonald's, but they have a house like
3 stories tall.
the White House.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Come on. And we're to believe that this McDonald's working person has a 20-bedroom house.
So even shows like I used to like Married with Children. I thought that was hilarious, but he was the only one that worked, and he worked retail. I was a retail man for years. I mean, it's minimum wage, and he worked as a shoe salesman. And they had yes, it was dated for comedy, but it was a big house.
But then we're not really thankful and grateful. Like you're not thankful and grateful then for the house or where you're living because you now made a resolution. I want a house like that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
or I'm going to have a house.
We're
like
taught
that.
to always want more than what we have. That's what they try to sell as the American dream. Is you're to never be satisfied with what you got. You always need more. This is why America worships billionaires, because in their mind, they think they're going to be one. When, I'm a realist, you do the best you can do. I'm not saying you can't move into success if your drive isn't there, but you're never really going to enjoy the things you have or will gain unless you're appreciative of what you have now.
Maybe that's the thing why resolutions are not followed through. Number one, your mind has to be set to do what you're resoluting to do. Number two, we need to come to terms that we are human. We're going to slip up.
Yeah.
And I may not have what they have next door, but I do have something and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
And number three is, you almost have me slipping here, it's going to come back to me, is the fact that we need to ground ourselves. Quit making these things and realize that, yes, I'm going to have a fabulous home one day.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be tomorrow. It may not happen this year. But if we start coming to terms and realizing that what we want, whether it's your New Year's resolution to come true or whatever, it's not going to happen quickly.
Right.
It is going to take time.
It may never happen at all. It may never happen at all.
It is going to take time.
One thing my mom always used to tell me is be happy for what you have because someone around you doesn't have what you have. And they're looking at your life with envy. Mm-hmm. And that kind of really hit me because I'm like, that
might be.
Well, it's true. I mean, I lived in some dumps, but then there's people I know. I worked with a girl, worked with a girl who could not afford her own place. So the person she was living with passed away. She worked full time, couldn't, and slept in a woman's shelter. Okay. I had a home. It was a dump, but she didn't have anything. So that does make you kind of be appreciative.
So think about that, ladies. Think about that. When you're making that resolution that you want to fit into your swimsuit this summer, and that person brings a cake to work, did you open your mouth at work and tell that person that you want to do that? And maybe they're bringing that cake in to screw you over so that you don't fit into that swimsuit. I don't know even
about that, but I think everything, if you set your mind to do something and you really want it, you're going to be able to do it. That's my view. I mean, when I wanted to lose weight, when I was younger, I was strict on my diet. When I got to the point, like now, I might say, "Oh, I need to lose 5 pounds," but I'll eat the cheesecake because I don't care anymore.
Okay, we've been married long enough now that, and you know I would, that if you were to look at me tomorrow and go, "Hey, I've got to start losing weight. My clothes are not fitting me at all," you know I'm going to bake a chocolate cake and sit it right in front of you. But that's only because we're married and we
maybe if I want cake, that's what I'm going to say.
But yeah, we all need to just start thinking of, instead of making these resolutions that we know we're not going to follow through on, and it may be a tradition that we do it as, but if you're going to do one, do a real one. Do something that, somebody's going to look at you and go, "Dan, I know you did that. You said you were going to do this as a resolution, and maybe you're just having a bad day today. Good luck. Keep at it."
Yeah. Well, we don't encourage each other.
No, we don't. And people need to.
Well, I think there's a certain element of people that just like to see others fail.
Yeah.
There really is.
And that's the thing. Maybe start looking at the people around you, and if it's more the ones, and if you're seeing more people that are trying to cause you to fail,
get rid of them.
It's time to push them to the curb and find a whole new group of people that will back you up.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. I think we're combining the two channels here.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
But it's the truth. I mean, if you are serious and your mind has been made up that this is the resolution you're making this year and I'm going to follow through with it, take a look at what's causing you to fail. And if it's the people around you now, push them out and start finding a group that will help.
Yep. Yep. or push them out. You might take a while to find people to support you. Support yourself.
But we would like to know from you, what resolutions have you made, and are you sticking to them, or have you already gotten past that point?
Comment.
Please.
Comment. Help our algorithm, please.
Like and share this too. I mean, I want to hear everybody's resolutions on this.
Yeah, and if you think we're nuts, type in there, you two are crazy. Whatever. Comment.
Call me a bitch. I don't even give a damn, actually.
You don't it. You go,
I mean, well, yeah, because I know I am. That's like, you're telling them to comment and say that we're even crazy? Hell yeah, we're crazy. I'm almost 60. I'm allowed to be crazy.
That's right. We earned the crazy. We earned the crazy.
Our dog's even looking at us like I'm nuts. So come on. But no, I do want to know what your resolutions are. Are you still sticking to them? Have you given up on them? Do you even make a resolution on New Year's? Comment below. Let us know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with us. And
comment any rant you want, or any reflection that you want as well.
Anything that really gets on your nerves sometimes.
Or drop us an email.
Anything that even gets on your nerves. That's what we sort of started this channel on, is a lot of things that daily we all deal with from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just time to get it off your chest.
Yep.
So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with us.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.